a 200 megapixel Olympus is coming in 2022. Welcome back to this week's RED35 news. Here I will talk about all things photography and filmmaking, official and unofficial rumors. As usual, this video is not in any way associated with OMDS. Well, it's for a bit of fun and for all of you who loves to hear what's going on in and around the Micro Four Thirds land. First, you've seen the title of this video. That's a renewed rumor about a new Samsung smartphone that features an Olympus branded camera unit. Of course, this news is very vague, and there's no information about how much Olympus has in terms of input in this collaboration. Is it just the lens, or indeed something more like the color science or even the IBIS tech? Well, at least the rumor mentions something rather particular. It's going to be the upcoming Samsung S22 Ultra that will have an ultra high-res 200 megapixel camera sensor and bears an Olympus branded name too. This is not the first rumor suggesting a collaboration between Samsung and Olympus. So, how reliable or trustworthy this rumor is, well, it's up to you really, but if there ever going to be one, you will definitely want the first to know. And it may even mean that I will have to give up my beloved Apple iPhone. I will have to think about that. Next up, Alice. No, she's not my missus. Alice is the first AI-powered Micro Four Thirds camera that I mentioned last year. After this successful crowdfunding campaign, it seems that the development of this camera is running at full steam ahead. For the very first time, the creator has showcased its AI focus in action. Just to let you know that when I spoke to the man behind this project last September, he told me that Alice didn't use any autofocusing methods known to human to date. No contrast detect, no phase detect, not even dual pixel. In fact, he said it's nothing like anything we know. All he told me was artificial intelligence. Anyway, from the clip, the camera does recognize both human and whatever he's holding. I presume that since it's an AI, Alice not only recognizes human subjects, but at the same time switch between him and whatever he's holding, making it more of a natural focus switching, almost mimicking manual focus by a human. So this is pretty impressive. But the clip was short, and I would like to see more and determine if this AI thing is really that good. Third, my friends at Yongnuo has been very busy developing their second camera, or more precisely, a Micro Four Thirds camera phone. Again. Yes, Yongnuo had a go at making the most connected Micro Four Thirds camera a couple of years ago, the YN450. And let's call it an experiment that never succeeded. There was the concept, but it just went wild. Fast forward to 2021, Yongnuo releases the new YN455. Yes, the name still sounds like a Russian submarine, but it's more of a polished version of the old Frankenstein camera. It has a top-class CPU, runs the latest Android, and yeah, with 4G, so you can have a mobile streaming workhorse if you choose to be one. In the real world, I'm not so sure about the performance, unless I get my hands on one to test. But from the sample product photo, it looks more like a slightly shrunk version of Blackmagic Cinema 4K camera, with a wide frontal impression. The back is dominated by the giant smartphone touchscreen and a proper grip that houses the shutter button. And that's about it. There are no visible dials for your shutter speed or aperture. That perhaps is done by the app. From a design viewpoint, the YN455 is chunkier than its older brother, but it does seem more of a camera too. I'm very curious of how it performs in the real world and how its AF is going to work. With no hot shoes, it means that any peripherals needs to be connected via the USB-C port. And you may need a rig too. But either way, Yongnuo is one of the rare Chinese Micro Four Thirds members that are pursuing automated lens designs, unlike others who are mainly manual focused. Now they're producing, albeit debatable design and concepts, smarter camera bodies. But the most important thing is that it's a Micro Four Thirds camera. Finally, Zhiyun's new WeeBill 2 is here, and I do have an early access model here, which I'm testing. You may be thinking that this is just another gimbal, Well, you may have to wait for my review to see exactly how cool it is. Right, I already gave away a spoiler, but you may have seen other reviews already. But for a solo creator and filmmaker, the new WeeBill 2 is pretty awesome. In particular, the AI. Yes, another AI power thing, but I'm not leaking too much, just have to wait for my review. So that's it for this week's news. What do you make of all this information? I do see a couple of common themes going though. First is connectivity, and second, artificial intelligence. Is this the way we're going? So, what do you think about Samsun and Olympus rumour? Would you get it if it becomes a reality? And what about the first AI-powered Alice Micro Four Thirds camera? What about Yongnuo's weird but potentially cool Android-powered Frankenstein camera? And lastly, Zhiyun's new AI-powered gimbals. A lot to think about. Okay, that's it. Remember to give me a thumb if you enjoyed this week's news, and sub if you want to stay in touch with all things Micro Four Thirds, and of course, Olympus. Peace! It does look like a lightsaber handle. It's actually pretty awesome here. I do like that little screen here though. The screen is actually pretty cool. And it works. This is the most important thing, right? It works.
Motion detected at the front door.
Someone's at the door giving me a new lens.
Motion detected at the front door.
New lens! Stay tuned for my new lens review. The future is Micro Four Thirds. Resistance is futile. Bye for now.